All right, sitting here with Mark Hubbard, who we've had mutual friends, the Love Master, for a long time. And I've got to spend not a lot of time. I got to spend some time with Mark at a few different parties and functions down at Conroe, and he's really made some great changes in his game over the last couple of years since 2017. And I think it's really interesting, especially for the junior golfers, to see kind of how he's gone about that. So tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously over the last 3 years, I've been working hard, so there are areas of my game that have improved. I've tightened up. Definitely, some short game stuff and just some swing actual mechanic stuff that I've tightened up. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm that much better technically than I was 3 years ago. It's more my mindset's completely changed. I think in 2017, especially when I had a pretty bad year, my last year on the PGA, I was extremely result oriented, and I was in a way a puppet to my results.
That's a really interesting way of putting that. I've never heard that, but that's actually you're being led around by like a string,
Yeah. I mean, and it was translating to outside of golf too. If I played bad, like I felt bad as a person, which is not, it's just golf. It's just a game. So I think I've done a much better job of compartmentalizing things to where I'm at my office and then I'm just a normal guy. So I think that's helped. But
out of curiosity, with regards to that, what sparked that? Because what you've just said there is what I did for 6 years while playing professional golf, and I never figured it out. I really just figured it out at about 42. Was there a moment?
I don't know. I think in a way, I kind of just got lucky that I woke up one day and realized I was hitting my head against the same tree over and over, and I was just tired. I think that was the biggest thing. I was just exhausted from doing it to myself, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I either want to figure out a new way to approach it where I enjoy the game again, or I just don't want to do it. And so it was kind of, a back against the wall type of moment. I can't really think of like one specific thing, but it was just kind of like,
it's a compounding disaster. Finally, you're just
it was just an exhausting year. And then I was back on the web in 2018, and I wasn't enjoying myself. It's hard coming off the big tour down to the web. The money's so much less, and the courses aren't as good, and it's just really hard to have a good attitude.
It doesn't look like this.
No, I mean it's perfect, and it's easy to get used to this, and it's hard to, when you're not on this, to enjoy it as much. So I mean, I just had to take a long look at myself in the mirror and reevaluate, what I was doing. And like I said, I was just tired. I was just really tired. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. What can I change? And that was the biggest thing, is I was focusing on all these things that were out of my control, that all you can do is hit a shot, and wherever it goes, like once the ball leaves the club face, it's not yours anymore. It's not up to you. And so for me, it was like, okay, what are the things that I actually can control? My practice, my pre-shot routine, the way I game plan a course. Those things actually I have control over. And so
you guys probably are thinking that I set him up with he's reading a script right here, because that's essentially exactly what the Decade App talks about. You've already bought it. You've already given me the money, so I don't really care if you believe it or not. That's a guy who's made... Where are you at on the money list right now in FedEx Cup?
28, I think.
Here's a guy that's talking about just a couple years ago, struggling. Now he's 28th on the money list, and exactly what he just told you is exactly what we're talking about in every other video.
Yeah, I think if I were to kind of, put it into like a quote or just a small little thing, I would say back, 2017 and 18, I went to every round hoping to play well. And now I'm in a position where I know if I do X, Y, and Z, I will play well. And if I don't do the things that are in my control, like my practice before the tournament, like my game plan in my practice round, playing to my strengths, focusing on having a good attitude and my process during the round, and not focusing on, bad breaks and stuff like that. If I do X, Y, and Z, those things that are under my control, I'm going to have, most likely play well, but if not, I'm going to know why I didn't, and there's not going to be mysteries. I'm not going to be beating myself up, and it's not going to affect me for rounds, tournaments, years to come like it was. So
if you think about it, and there's a guy named Jim Rohn that I love quoting all the time, but he's got a saying basically, he's like, well, what else can you do? Like exactly what you just said, focusing on the controllers, like literally, what else can you do? The volatility in wind, inconsistent course designs. Like, there's really nothing else you can do. So I appreciate that. That was perfect. I'm actually not going to do any more podcasts now because that's all I need. You guys are about to hear the exact same thing 1,000 times over. This was a much better conversation than the last one we had at Snoop's.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for having me. I
Really,
appreciate
that
it.
was awesome.